I believe one of the most important things I'm currently learning in life is perspective. And that I believe that perspective is the anchor being for all beliefs and actions we take in life. It is the the thing that controls our values and the way, essentially the way we work individually. And that understanding that and to its fullest extent is something that is I deem as beneficial and crucial in life. At least when it comes to understanding yourself, and then even further than that, understanding other people. But for now, I would just like to speak on the understanding yourself with perspective. Um, for one, it's that perspective is usually not something that is that you come upon. It is something that is initially taught. The perspective that you have of the world before you start taking your own steps is something that is given to you by the things around you that you see, by the people around you, by the words by the words that were said to you, by the emotions you see people react off of. Just essentially your environment. The initial perspective that you get in this life is formed from the environment and the people around you. You see those experiences, and you therefore kind of make your own perspective. But it is still someone else's because it wasn't something that you went out of your way to go learn and to apply to yourself. It was something that you just happened to adapt to from all the things around you. And for example, like racism. Um I'm pretty sure we all know this. Racism is not you're not born racist. No one is born racist. Just like no one is born a narcissist, no one is born antisocial, no one is born whatever, unless it's like a genuine chronic disease. But no one is born these things. You're not born racist. You're not born mean. You're not born nice. These are traits that you pick up from what you see around you. And for racism, for example, for like, I guess that's the largest one that I can use. A baby is not born racist. He will see the people around him, which is usually their family, discriminate people by the ethnicity that they are, and not accept people because they're different than what he is. So he sees that his family is doing that, or she or he, the baby sees that their family is discriminating people just based off of just because they're from a different place or born of a different race. So he believes that, okay, I'm going to do the same thing because I'm seeing people that I live with do, so I'm going to do that. Or maybe even people that tend to deal with anger issues, they probably developed that because they seen their dad or their mom lash out on things that maybe shouldn't have been lashed up on, like maybe little things that caused him or them to believe that, okay, it's okay to do that, so I'm going to do that. And all in all, that's how they get their first initial perspective. You know what I mean? And I'm not just saying it only applies to bad things; it applies to good things too. Like if a child is kind and whatnot, it's probably because they see their parents or the people that they're mainly around, be nice to other people. So they're like, okay, that's the regular. Basically, when it comes to the beginning of your life, before you really take initiative, um, your perspective is carved from your environment, and that's okay. That's perfectly normal. But I believe that there's a point in everyone's life where you have to start, I guess, finding yourself or creating yourself. And I believe I'm in that process right now. And it comes to everybody at a certain point. I think, I hope so, but I do believe that you have to start finding yourself. You got to start creating yourself. You can't live off of a version of you that was created from other people. You got to find who you truly want to be. The perspective you got to find the pair of glasses that you truly want to see out of, not something that is given to you. And I see sometimes it is hard to do that because even I am still struggling to get out of ways that was maybe taught to me, and not realizing which is the more respectable pair of lens to be seeing through. And what I mean by that is uh, that just because you feel something, or just because you have a perspective of something, and that perspective is something that you have been going with through your entire life, does not mean it is right. Just because you've been doing something your entire life and it has not proved you to be wrong, or just has been beneficial to you. It just has been beneficial to you, so you feel that it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm gonna continue to live like this. There's nothing wrong with it. It's fine. But that's not the case. Because just because you deem something is right does not mean it's right universally or in the grand scheme of things. Like, this is an analogy that my dad brought to me. One time we were at a store, and this lady, she had put a bottle of wine and she had put it on like the little conveyor thing. When you're at the cash register and whatnot and you're paying for your stuff, she had put the bottle of wine on the conveyor thing. She had put it sitting up like this, right? And when it went, and like when she started the thing, it had fell and it had broke. And she had started to get into an argument with the worker, with the employee, saying that, oh, I've been doing this my whole life. There's nothing wrong with that. Da 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 da. But the issue was, just because you have been doing it your whole life and it has not proved you to be wrong yet, does not mean that it's not wrong. Clearly, in that situation, like, that's not how you're supposed to put the bottle on the conveyor. You're supposed to lay it down flat so it doesn't break and fall. And just because all the times that you have done it, it hasn't broken, does not mean that that's the right way to do it. Because clearly, eventually, it's going to happen. And even if it doesn't, I feel it's kind of ignorant to not find, or to not see that there's other ways to work. You know what I mean? Like, I believe some people take the analogy that if something's not broke, don't fix it. But just because it's not broken does not mean it can't be improved. Just because it is working for you does not mean there could be another version of it that could work even better. And that's where the perspective applies to. You were seeing through your perspective that, this thing, or this opinion, or this belief, or this action that I'm doing, is beneficial to me. So I'm going to continue to do it. I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to think twice about it. I'm just going to continue to do it just because it's beneficial to me. But I believe that living a life like that eventually will first cause you problems, and second, it will cause people around you problems. And problems that you might not even see because you are too blinded to even see that, your own perspective could be imperfect. You are so fixated on that, this. I mean, you're so fixated on blindly following this perspective that you can't even realize that your own perspective is messed up. So how are you even going to be able to see that, you're affecting other people's lives? Being able to see anyone else's perspective besides your own. And this is where I'm going to tie it to, and being able to see other people's perspectives and being able to understand other people in a sense. And what I mean by that is, like, we all see through an imperfect lens. You know what I mean? No one's perfect on this earth. We always gonna be imperfect. That is just quite literally how we are made. But that does not mean we can't improve, and that also doesn't mean that we need to hold people to such a high regard and that they need to be perfect. You know what I mean? You know, or even taking a step back and realizing that, yo, what I'm feeling may not be the right thing. Maybe I'm in the wrong with this. And that comes with being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes, being able to see someone else's perspective. Like, I think all teens can relate with me with this one. Is like, let's say we get into, actually no, I just thought of one. Relationships. That is a big thing in, today's society. Romance. Having a boyfriend, having a girlfriend, and we come to a point where there's a whole lot of toxicity going on. Where people got a whole lot of things going on. People like to get back. They get back. Uh, oh, they did it to me, so I get to do it to them, or this, that, third, or just saying, or just not even realizing that their partner or whoever is someone else, and to get more in depth with that, let's say you are talking to this guy. You're not together, but y'all talking, y'all are leading up to the big boom. Maybe y'all go out, maybe y'all don't, whatever. But y'all are in the process of getting to that stage, right? And before y'all can even commit to each other to be like, yo, I want to be with you. You are the person I want. Y'all got to first understand each other. And to do that, first, you got to be open to whatever views that they might have. Because if not, it's not going to work. It might work for a little bit because y'all forcing it, but eventually it'll crumble. But you got to be able to realize that my actions don't just affect me. You know what I mean? And that people may not have the same reactions to certain things that I do. Your partner may not react the same way that you do to not texting for however long. You might be like, I like my personal time. I just like to be alone, be in my own little space. Sometimes I'm just not going to text you, but to your partner or whoever you're talking to, that could be like, dang, you ignoring me? Like, what's going on? So then they start to distance themselves. And now you're at a point where, since you so blinded to even think about them, you just so fixated on your own stuff that you're like, yo, why are they not texting me? Why is this, that, and the third? So you're like, all right, forget this. I'm about to go do whatever. Now you done did double wrongs. Now you about to try to get some get back because you couldn't even see that they were just reciprocating the energy that they got. Or not even reciprocating. They were just reacting to what you were giving them. You was being distant, this, that, there, so they take a step back. They took that step back, and now you feel that they started a problem because you couldn't realize that your own perspective, that your own actions that you deem was, nothing was wrong with that, messed with them. You know what I'm saying? It's wrong. Like you gotta be able to understand people, man. You can't just be living in a world to where you're the only person that exists. Now, I don't believe that you should prioritize anybody over yourself, but that does not mean people are worth nothing. Everybody is worth something. You should always treat everybody with equal respect until you are deemed disrespected. You know what I mean? But overall, like I believe just being understanding and having open ears to things is like there's like it doesn't take nothing. It doesn't take nothing to be able to see that another person's view, bro. It doesn't take nothing to realize that, dang, I might be in the wrong with this. I might not be fully right. Maybe I should apologize. It takes nothing. It honestly doesn't. And eventually, it you, you might get hurt because of that. Because you didn't realize that, shit. Maybe they did feel some type of way. But overall, it's just the fact that, like, perspective is everything in this world. You feel me? The reason why debates go on, the reason why wars start, the reason why love is made, a whole types of things. Because the way we perceive things is the way we live. Oh yeah, another analogy. So this was something that me and my friend had talked about, and it started off as us just talking about like the concept of cheating and like, oh, if is cheating bad if your partner would never know about it, and I was like, you're still doing that wrong action, but this has nothing to do with perspective. We had got to the point where it was like, why would a bad person stop doing bad if doing bad benefits them? That was the question that she posed to me, and I said it's all about perspective. If that bad person continues to do that bad because in his eyes and his perspective, he believes that that bad is benefiting him because he sees through eyes that are unjust. He sees through unjust eyes, so unjust things will please him. But if you give him a different set of perspective, those unjust things that he is doing won't be so beneficial to him. But because he sees through eyes that may be selfish or may be greedy or may be disrespectful, those selfish, greedy, disrespectful things will benefit him. And I don't know. Look, some selfish, greedy, disrespectful dude about to get locked up right now. Police, you hear that? But dang, hold on. Let me pause the video and today passed real quick. I had to move spots because by the time the siren stopped, the sun got on my face. Still low key, but it's better now. Yeah, that person is gonna benefit from from unjust things if he lives in a perspective that is unjust. He's gonna benefit from that. That is what pleases him, and you can apply that to anything. I'm not gonna get into in depth with that because it might get a little bit controversial. But the main things I wanted to be taken from this video is that first, on the understanding of perspective, and that it is like I said, the anchor being to all actions and beliefs we have, from the reason why someone might drink water and the reason why someone may drink soda, the reason why this person might be atheist, the reason why this person might be religious. You know, our perspective is what makes us us. That is why everyone is so different in this world, because we live in a world where there is so much different perspectives. You feel me? If we go date back to earlier times, there's going to be more people that is alike, because there was less views in the world. Everyone, we're kind of seeing through the same lens at a certain point in time, and then as people gone, I mean, as things went on and different things happened, different people built different perspectives. But overall, perspective is the anchor being to us, is the anchor being to why things are and why things will be. The second thing is that perspective is not the initial perspective that you have from, I guess, childhood to young adulthood, or whenever you realize that you're living through a pair of glasses that were given to you and not a pair of glasses that you chose to use. You're living through a perspective that you built from the environment around you as a child, and not an environment you chose. An environment you were put in, and an environment you chose. And realizing that is not always gonna be what is beneficial to you in the long run. It's not always gonna be right in the grand scheme of things. And that it's okay to, not realize that shit instantly, but at least take into account that, okay, maybe I could go see different things. Maybe I could see things differently. Maybe I could educate myself on something else. Maybe I could stop seeing through the same damn ways I've been seeing, and maybe I can change, find a different version of myself, a version that I create for me, not something that I built off of from the things around me, but stuff that I brought to me. Second is taking that a step further and realizing that everyone got a different perspective on things, and sometimes you gotta put yourself in someone else's shoes. You can't always just see through your own perspective and make assessments on that. You feel me? Because you didn't go through what they went through. You don't see how they see. So before you make an action, or before you make a choice, or whatever that involves other people, stop to think, will they feel some type of way because of this? Is there a possibility that we might see things differently? And that's okay. But don't make it into a problem because you couldn't see that. You know what I mean? Realize that everyone is different. Everyone will be different. If you cannot be around someone that is different from you, and you have the choice to separate, separate. Don't sit there and make that a problem. But if you see something differently from someone else, and you want to be with them, or you have to be by them, then make an effort to see how they see. Don't only see through the eyes that you have, or that was given to you. Realize that they gonna feel things differently. They gonna react to different things differently than you are, and that's okay. And it's gonna be so much easier to walk around. And that's about it. I guess the last little message I give is that just because something has been working for you your whole life doesn't always mean it's right. Take that how you want. And yeah, I gotta go because these mosquitoes is fucking me up.